Okay, YouTube, it's Okitoke420 back. Got a bowl of OG Kush, and today we're going to be talking about the Trump impeachment and the possibilities of the next civil war, coinciding with everything that's going on in Virginia. If you haven't watched that video, I got a link in the description. Not the best video, I'll admit, but it does go over quite in depth some of the things that they're trying to do in Virginia with the Democratic-controlled government, as far as trying to take away people's firearms, limit magazine capacities, red flag laws, etc. But today we're going to talk about the Trump impeachment. And one of the big things about the Trump impeachment, if you haven't noticed, is they're trying to pull off the articles of impeachment with a Republican-controlled Senate. And most will wonder, why would these Democrats be trying to do that, knowing that he is just going to straight up get acquitted? I mean, there's no way he's going to get convicted in the articles of impeachment for any wrongdoing in a Republican-controlled Senate. A lot of that, what we're talking about, has to go into the Virginia, what's going on in Virginia. I mean, if you're going to cover something up, you would want something big on the headlines, right? Something like a impeachment for Trump, you know, over all over the Republicans who are for gun rights and everything like that. And why everybody is focused on the impeachment, then they can go in the heart of the South, Virginia, and go in there and try and pull this stuff. And I believe that's one reason that it could possibly lead to a civil war. Is just a cover-up for how it all starts. So, I mean, there is that. People will be surprised about the media cover-up, because you don't hear anything about this on the news in Virginia. Okay, let's see. Trying to pull up some new information. Well, apparently there is new news that is weakening the Democrats, or weaken Trump impeachment's defense. Let's get beside that. See, even right now, they're coming up with new headlines, and this really doesn't say anything. And yes, Trump may be corrupt, because, like I said in my last video, I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I believe it doesn't matter which boot you're under, the left or the right. It's still a boot, and it's still tyranny. I'm just here to spread the message. That way people will hopefully start grabbing their firearms and fighting back. Not necessarily trying to start a civil war, but we need to start standing up for our constitutional rights and everything they have piled on, all these invalid, unconstitutional laws. See, what's another way, you know, I've been thinking about how this could lead into civil war. Another possibility is, and this is going off of current news, as you know, how the left and the right, they're constantly fighting. They're constantly going at it like rabid dogs. Well, if Trump doesn't get impeached, and these liberals go out and start doing stupid stuff and rioting, then that's going to lead into civil war, and here's the reason how. They're going to call in, not Sharia law, but martial law. Sorry for the pause. They're going to call in martial law, because all these leftists are going to be rioting, protesting, and all the rioters are going to be sitting there fighting the left because they're tearing up their shit. Next thing you know, you got a completely lawless institution with two different sets of people constantly going at it, fighting. And who do you think is going to win? I mean, these pussy-ass liberals don't know anything about how to use a firearm like down here in the South, like we know how to do. And I know there's some of you guys up in Yankee states that own guns and believe in the same thing, and I applaud you. But that's another potential way. I mean, this has just turned into a giant shit show, people. This country is basically one giant fucking television. television program, constantly being played over and over again. And it's bullshit. I'm sick of it. I want to go back to a country that I remember, because where I grew up, I was one of the last few in the generation, because I went to a small rural country school that actually got their ass whooped in school and sang the Pledge of Allegiance every fucking morning and pledged my salute to the flag. Now, I'm all for freedom, and I do not believe shit like that should be mandatory, but if you truly are a patriot and truly do love where you come from and your country, doesn't mean you necessarily got to agree with everything the government does. I mean, I believe the government's too big and as corrupt as a motherfucker, even on a state and a local level, but I still love where I come from. I believe, I believe that's what we need. We also need God back in school. Have you ever noticed that ever since God has left the school, more and more shit's happening? I mean, these school shootings, I have my own opinion on these school shootings, and we won't even get into that, because I believe they're just all a sham and a cover-up, and they're just paid people being sent in to do this in order to get guns taken away. But that's besides the point. But we really do need God back in school. I mean, guys, this really has just become a shit show. Donald Trump will go down in history as the third U.S. president to be impeached, yet no president has ever been convicted or removed from office as a result of impeachment, and it appears unlikely that Trump will be either. See, that's what a lot of people don't believe, is they believe that he's going to get removed from office. Filing articles of impeachment doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a Senate trial before they can determine if anybody's guilty and deserves to be removed from office. And that's just another big cover-up, too, and that's just, they're making more out of it than it actually needs to be. Well, I can't find any more information that I can talk about, guys, so, this is Okitoke 420. Stay free, stay strapped, and stay high. I'll see you next time.